head of civil service, Ambassador Francis Muthaura, says he will not be celebrating his acquittal by the International Criminal Court as the entire Hague experience has left him heartbroken. Muthaura, however, blasted the ICC prosecution for conducting shoddy investigations that saw his charges confirmed based on frivolous evidence. The former civil service boss is calling for a thorough re-examination of the remaining cases, saying an error in the prosecution's judgment could shatter lives of families. Sam Ogina has that report.
Obviously happy to be off the ICC news, the former head of civil service, Ambassador Francis Muthaura, is not celebrating yet. Muthaura says the case almost shattered his life and is a traumatic encounter. He termed the narrative surrounding his committal to trial as a tragedy.
I'm relieved more than I can say. However, I'm not celebrating. The ICC case broke my heart, not only because I, Francis Muthaura, was charged, but much more so because I have seen injustice abused and manhandled by those whose primary duty it was to respect it and safeguard it at all costs.
If we come to this view,
Muthaura, whose case was withdrawn Monday after prosecution witness 4 recanted his statement, blasted the prosecutor for conducting a shoddy investigation, saying such errors risk devastating many lives. Flanked by his legal team led by lead counsel Karim Khan, Esa Fall and Kenya's Ken Ogeto, Muthaura challenged the prosecution to work competently.
Please investigate your cases. Please look for the truth and make sure that your staff live by this guiding principle.
The former civil service boss emotionally recounted that his naming on December 15, 2010 as one of the Ocampo 6 marked the beginning of his agonizing journey at the ICC. Muthaura's lead counsel faulted the civil society groups for projecting the ICC as a total tool for justice despite some of its shortcomings.
They should not be secret societies. They should be civil societies for the sake of the Republic and all its people. If they're true to their responsibility to the people of Kenya, to pause and not make a cacophony of noise about presenting heads on a platter.
Equally, ICC prosecutor Fatou Bensouda's predecessor, Luis Moreno Ocampo, was under fire for relying heavily on a single witness to commit his case to trial. Ocampo has been blamed for a sloppy investigation. A total of 13 prosecution witnesses have so far been dropped in both Kenyan cases.
The evidence should lead to the suspect. Any prosecutor who looks at who's well known in a country, looks at the celebrities and wants to prosecute the celebrities and then tries to find evidence that will fix them is going to be not only running up the wrong path, but is imperiling the very oath of office they were sworn to uphold.
Muthaura was facing charges of murder, deportation, rape, persecution and other inhumane acts along his co-accused President-elect Uhuru Kenyatta. But in dropping Muthaura's case, ICC prosecutor Fatou Bensouda claimed she had solidified the case against the President-elect. Now Muthaura was charged alongside President-elect Uhuru Kenyatta for masterminding allegedly a common plan. Now pundits are keen to see how the Uhuru case plays out in court with Muthaura out of the equation. Sam Ogina, KTN, Nairobi.
Thank you very much, Sam. Now let's stay with that story, looking at Muthaura's journey since he was listed as a suspect. Now, on the 15th of December 2010, after former ICC prosecutor Luis Moreno Ocampo had examined an extensive document compiled by the Working Commission in regard to the post-poll violence, well, he submitted an application to the ICC requesting the court to summon the 6 suspects. The pre-trial chamber reviewed the evidence and determined that there were reasonable grounds to believe that the individuals named had committed the crimes alleged in the prosecutor's application. Well, the request was therefore granted. Well, this saw Ocampo swing into action, and on 8th of March 2011, the summons were issued to Muthaura and the other 5 suspects. According to Ocampo, the evidence established was sufficient to charge Muthaura for crimes against humanity, as our graphics show, which include murder, deportation or forcible transfer of people, rape, other atrocious acts and persecution. To sum it all up, Muthaura was named as an indirect co-perpetrator. Well, moving on, what followed next was the initial appearance at The Hague on April 8th, 2011. This, if you recall, was the introduction of and familiarization of the suspects with which the court's procedure. Now, the confirmation of charges then followed on the 1st of September to 5th October 2011. Now, in both instances, Francis Muthaura was accompanied by his lawyer, Karim Khan. Well, following the confirmation of the charges on the 26th of January 2012, Muthaura resigned as the head of civil service. His trial was then scheduled to begin on the 11th of April this year, but you'll remember that that date was recently postponed to July 9th this year after a request was made by the defense team. However, on Monday, the office of the prosecutor came out and announced that it was dropping all charges against Muthaura, saying it had insufficient evidence for a conviction. It cited the loss of witnesses, including a key witness who had recanted testimony and claimed to have received bribes from defendants in that case. Well, that has been Muthaura's journey.